Abhyanga is the name given in Ayurveda for oilation, application of oil to the body. From here, we already see there's a distinction of concept between Abhyanga and massage. So from the perspective of Ayurveda, is not necessarily the most important factor in an Ayurveda massage is not precisely the massage component of it, the squeezing of the muscle, but actually the application of oil. The oil is the main factor on the Abhyanga or the oilation, the Ayurveda massage. The first point that is good to consider is that the skin is the biggest organ of our bodies. It's an organ of absorption. So many things that you put onto the skin, think of a cream or medicine, certain things of it, certain components of it will be absorbed by the skin. And the skin also has a differential that it kind of bypasses digestion. If you eat something, let's say if you eat some medicine, it will have to go through the stomach, it will be digested also by the liver, it will be digested then later by the intestines, and especially the liver has this process of purification. Before then you actually absorb those components, or at least certain components of that substance, of that food or plant. While the skin, it goes directly into circulation. So it's kind of a shortcut for introducing medicine to the body. From the point of view of Ayurveda, also the skin is very much related to the Vata Dosha. Doshas are terms that Ayurveda use to describe the different parts and functions of the body. So Vata Dosha, we can understand, if you were to talk in more modern terms, would be more related to the nervous system. So when in Ayurveda, when you say Vata Dosha, an easy way to bridge the concept is to think of the nervous system. And the skin is very much connected to the nervous system. Think in terms of pain, think in terms of sensation, of experience, because the skin sets the boundary of your body, of yourself. So the skin, on the point of view of Ayurveda, is extremely connected to our perception of nervous system, which of course, when you say nervous system, is a lot related to the sensation of us, of me, of my body, of myself. Because of modern life, on the point of view of Ayurveda, a lot of people nowadays suffer from imbalances of Vata Dosha, imbalances of the nervous system. Think in terms of anxiety, in terms of depression, emotional disruption, lack of stability, the feeling that people say of being ungrounded, of being unstable. All these experiences that we normally classify as on the realm of psychology, they're very much related to Vata Dosha. From that perspective, if you're trying to affect Vata or reduce the ill effects of this dosha, one of the best places to work with in Ayurveda will be the skin. Another one will be the colon or the large intestine. But in terms of massage, of Abhyanga, then we are using the skin as the ground of work. Because the skin is so connected to the nervous system and to Vata Dosha, when you apply oil onto it, the goal, let's say, is almost like you're giving a big hug onto the nervous system. You are covering the nervous system. You are shading the nervous system. This is also connected to the concept of guna in Ayurveda, which is translated as characteristic or quality. The nervous system, or Vata Dosha, in Ayurveda is seen as something that is light, something that is fickle, something that is always moving, so it's not stable, something that is not dense, and something that is cold. While oil would tend to have the opposite qualities. If you think in terms of oil, it's heavy, it's dense, it's sticky, and also in Ayurveda massage, we always use heated oil. Oil in a natural state might be a little bit cool or a little bit cold, and to change that characteristic or that quality, then we heat up the oil and do massage with warm oil. On that, with those qualities at hand, what you're doing is balancing the tendencies of the nervous system. You're applying opposite qualities. One analogy you can think is when we are very stressed, we might use terms like I feel like I'm out there, or I don't feel like I'm myself, or I cannot stop, or I cannot feel a sense of grounding, I cannot feel a sense of stillness, I cannot feel a sense of being pacified. So all these disruptions of the nervous system might feel a lot like being disturbed. And then the oil, with those qualities that I mentioned of heaviness, of warmth, etc., they will have the opposite sensation of bringing you down. And the oil has this tendency of always floating downwards, while Vata, because it's light, is connected to air, according to Ayurveda, has always the tendency to move upwards, towards the head. So when you use the oil, you're bringing everything downwards, towards the skin and to the inside of the body. So the oil is a great remedy for Vata complications, which once more, it's a little bit of an issue in modern life. In Sanskrit, which is the language used in the traditional text of Ayurveda, another word for oilation is sneha. Sneha means love. So the same word that we use for application of oil also means loving or love. So there's this idea that to oil something is to actually love that something, is to give affection to it, is to give nourishing to it, is to provide comfort to it. And one last point is that in Ayurveda, traditional Ayurveda, it's very rare to use just oil in the sense of non-medicated oil. For example, sesame oil or coconut oil or mustard oil without plants or substances inside. Classically, Ayurveda, the oils are always medicated, which means it's a base oil such as coconut or sesame or mustard, but they will be, prior to the usage, they will be boiled in different processes with plants, with minerals, with parts of trees, in order for that oil to be infused with the properties of those substances. And then each oil will have a more medicinal quality to it. Because once more, because the skin is such as a big organ of absorption, you can use it to introduce medicine to the body. So not only you have all those benefits of the nervous system that I was mentioning, but those parts that are receiving the oil also have the medicinal effects of the plants, of the substances.